Rotorua ahead in tonight's bulletin. Rotorua Labour List MP Steve Chadwick says the government isn't meeting the needs of our older citizens. Commercial accommodation in Rotorua has seen a rise of 11.2%. And I Am Man event to promote anti-violence message. Those stories and more up next on City News. Labour's aged care spokesperson, Rotorua List MP Steve Chadwick, says the current government is not doing enough to meet the health needs of our older citizens. Speaking on City News, Steve Chadwick says the funding and delivery of aged care in New Zealand faces significant strain as our population is ageing and costs are rising. She says Labour has worked hard to understand the needs of older people and has produced a plan to meet these future challenges. She says at the core of the problem of quality care is quality staff.
Nobody looking after your little one under 6 should be untrained and unqualified. We're going to do exactly the same for those looking after your parents or your grandparents over 65. That's the problem. So as the sector's growing, they've taken on more and more people that aren't trained and they're not undertaking a qualification. We're saying that should happen, and that should be linked to pay negotiations, and they should be paid a fair day's pay.
We explore the aged care policy of Labour with Steve Chadwick in tonight's City News. Maritime New Zealand is reporting that salvage company experts have spent the day assessing the state of the stranded cargo ship Rena. Sensors on board the ship had detected no significant movement. However, a variety of plans to cover all eventualities continue to be worked on. Salvage crews also remained on high alert today as rough seas and strong winds increased the risk of the Rena breaking up. National On-Scene Commander Ian Kneeblock says a small clean-up crew removed oil from beach near Harrison Cut today, and crews remain on standby should they be needed. Ian Kneeblock says it's critical to safe operations that the aerial and marine exclusion zone around Rena is observed and respected. Entering the exclusion zone can seriously impact on the recovery operation and put those working on salvaging the ship at risk. Commercial accommodation has seen a rise of 11.2% in Rotorua and has been hailed as excellent news. The figures released in August do show an increase, but we're told not to get too excited as we have to remember that the last week of August was the first week of the international visitor arrivals for the Rugby World Cup. The hospitality industry was pleased about the business coming out of the rugby tournament, but it would be some months before the effects of the World Cup would clear sufficiently to see any other growth trends. In sport tonight, the Rotorua Youth Centre will hold the inaugural I Am Man event next month as part of White Ribbon Day events on the 26th of November. Youth Development Field Officer Rebecca Naif says I Am Man is a sports and festival event aimed at uniting the Bay of Plenty against violence. Rebecca Naif says the highlight of the day will be the Mud Run Challenge.
The 3 different mud runs that we have, the first one is specifically for men, that is the Men Against Violence Against Women, and this is open to the whole of the Bay of Plenty, so yeah, we're having men running that race. The second race will be anti-bullying in schools, so open to all secondary schools in the Bay of Plenty. And then the third race is Stop Family Violence or Child Abuse, and that is team or whānau approach.
The I Am Man event will be held at the Lakes Ranch on Saturday the 26th of November. For further information, contact Rebecca Naif at the Rotorua Youth Centre. To your weather now. Tonight, showers clearing, northerlies, overnight a low of 6. Tomorrow Thursday, early showers, then fine, westerlies developing, a high of 20 and low of 7. Outlook for Friday, cloudy periods, chance late shower, westerlies easing, a high of 20, 1 and low of 11. Marine forecast for Lake Rotorua tomorrow Thursday, southeast 10 knots tending southerly 15 knots in the morning, then southwesterly in the afternoon. Waves less than half a metre and fine weather. If you've missed any of tonight's bulletin, you can watch it again by going to tv.rotorua.co.nz and click on the View Latest City News link. Or to view what's on in our city, click on the Upcoming Events link. Still to come in tonight's program, Pete's at the Rotorua Youth Centre to find out about the Iron Man event. Irene Begg has some tips on coping with daylight saving. But after the break, I'm in the studio with Labour List MP Steve Chadwick.